You walk away from a conversation feeling entirely disoriented. You've agreed to a favor you promised yourself you'd decline, or you're suddenly second-guessing your own memory of events that just happened. Dark psychology operates through the mundane channels of daily life, the subtle pressure from a manager, the shifting expectations of a friend, or a partner's heavy silence. These tactics rely on a lack of aggression. Manipulation typically begins with a warm smile, a perfectly timed compliment, and a sudden, intense sense of connection. Think of your mind as this solid stone wall. Most manipulators avoid direct confrontation. Instead, they slip through the small, glowing cracks already present in the masonry, cracks created by your natural empathy, your fear of loneliness, or your desire to be accepted. When these boundaries are compromised, the trap is set. This internal erosion happens so quietly that your decisions and self-trust begin to mirror the manipulator's goals rather than your own. Narcissists, gaslighters, and control seekers often project an image of authority, but their behavior is rooted in profound internal insecurity. They attempt to stabilize their own world by controlling yours. Because their power is fragile, they bypass logical arguments. They utilize emotional exploits, targeting your inherent psychological responses to gain leverage before you have time to think. There are 3 primary doorways they use to gain entry: fear of rejection, sympathy, and a need for validation. The validation trap is highly effective. They offer intense approval, then suddenly withdraw it, forcing you to chase their acceptance, creating a cycle of dependence. These influencers don't manufacture new emotions. They hijack the vulnerabilities you already have. Defending yourself requires a high level of self-awareness regarding your own insecurities. The construction of the trap begins with the lure, or love bombing. This is a phase of excessive charm and rapid emotional connection designed to make you rely on the manipulator for your sense of well-being. Next comes the isolation. The manipulator subtly plants seeds of doubt about your friends and family, systematically cutting you off from any outside perspective that might challenge their influence. To deepen confusion, they utilize gaslighting. By denying objective facts, their narrative consumes yours until you lose trust in your memory. This is paired with an emotional roller coaster. Alternating affection and coldness keeps you in hypervigilance, focused entirely on their next move. The trap is locked through the pressure. This involves weaponizing guilt against you, reminding you of their favors, or using the silent treatment to punish your independence. Identifying this trap requires you to ignore a person's words and focus exclusively on their behavioral patterns over time. These combined tactics serve to dismantle your independent thought, transforming a relationship into a system of absolute control. The manipulator's system relies entirely on your emotional reaction. When you anchor yourself and stop providing that reaction, the entire chain of influence collapses. Your first defense is the strategic pause. Taking 3 seconds to breathe before responding strips the manipulator of the immediate emotional fuel they are trying to extract. You can also use the gray rock method. By becoming as uninteresting and neutral as a gray stone, you starve the manipulator of the drama and feedback they need to sustain their control. Counter gaslighting by documenting reality, keeping a written record of facts. Simultaneously, use assertive communication to set firm, clear boundaries without resorting to aggression. The final defense is knowing when to walk away. Walking away from a person who only seeks control is an act of self-respect. Forging your mind into an impenetrable fortress is the result of mastering your own vulnerabilities and reactions. Your mind, your rules.